Welcome, Japan.
Welcome to another edition of Why Come Japan. I'm your host, Mr. Radrey, where I interview creatives inside or outside Japan. And today I take you all the way to the Kansai region of Japan, known as Kobe.
Osaka.
Osaka. Okay, thank you. Thanks for filling in that blank. And today my guest is ChillinKansai. I don't know why. There's something with the name that trips me up. There's something with it. So $1 million question. What is it like to chill in Kansai?
It's a lot like chilling everywhere else. You just lean back in a chair. You don't worry about nothing. Everything comes through just fine. And if it doesn't, it's nothing you can do about it anyway. So you just don't even worry about it.
Okay. Is it like different than chilling in Tokyo or chilling in Fukuoka? Or
well, cheaper than Tokyo, probably more expensive than Fukuoka.
Because everybody knows Kansai as being that area where Japanese people are not sumetai. They're not cold.
Well, they're not cold. They certainly don't hold back how they feel about you. They are more willing to share with you their personal internal feelings, and the old ladies will beat the hell out if you let them.
They'll beat the hell out of you if you don't let them.
If you are between them and where they want to get to on the train or into the train, forget it. You got no prayer.
Oh, you're talking about commuting. Okay.
Well, commuting or just any sort of train ride.
Okay. All right. So, so originally we had a stream set up here before. I was having trouble with the link and OBS, which is a program I guess you should use. I don't know. I'm not sure if I can recommend it anymore. This one was beautiful. This is being powered by StreamYard. If anybody's watching the visual of the show, or if they're listening to it, yes, powered by StreamYard, which is an ugly duck in the upper right-hand corner of the screen.
Yeah.
What do you think of that duck? Is that a good logo or a terrible logo?
It's a terrible logo.
Okay.
It's a nice idea, but there's too many colors. It's a little too complicated. Doesn't work if it's small. If it's bigger, it's fine. And I don't get the ducks don't even have ears. They don't need the headphone.
Wait, ducks don't have ears? Okay.
Well, not like these, but
okay. I guess I gotta Google this. Ducks don't have ears.
They can hear, but they don't have like ears.
Do ducks have ears? I gotta know. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna look this up after this is over. It says actually ducks do have ears. We just cannot see them. Ducks have two tiny holes close to their eyes, but they cannot have ears like us because all birds are built for flying, whether they fly or not.
Well,
the more you know,
right? Yeah,
what's
right.
That?
Owls have ears, though, right?
They do. Yeah, I guess so. I've never owned a bird. I always find them obnoxious. I'm sorry for all bird owners out there, but I don't like those things. I guess they're supposedly ancestors of dinosaurs or something. I think dinosaurs are great, but I mean, I own 2 turtles. I think those guys are great too, but I'm not a fan of birds. Are you a pet person, Mr.
I would love to
Kansai
have a
Scott?
dog. Yeah, I would love to have a dog, but I haven't. And I had dogs growing up and a couple of cats as well. But I'm just not home enough. I don't think I'd be able to give them the attention that they need, but I'd love to get a dog.
Okay. Well, because in Japan, getting a dog is like there's nowhere that, it feels like virtually nowhere that'll allow you to have pets. I mean, especially an apartment complex.
Yeah. It's a lot more work
to take care of a pet. Oh, you mean for them?
You gotta have a place to take them out, and you gotta first find a place that'll let you have one, and then you gotta pay extra money, and then you gotta pay more extra money, and then when you leave, you gotta pay more money. It's rough.
Okay.
Rough.
I guess that makes sense. Okay, so you said earlier before the stream, I had to kill the stream because reasons, because nobody could hear you. No one
Yeah.
could hear you in the last stream. You said you were when you came to Japan for work originally. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you were placed
Yep.
in Kansai, Osaka.
I was so Michigan. I'm originally from Michigan, and Shiga.
Oh, okay, I
have
knew
a
it. I knew
sister-city
you were from
relationship.
somewhere cold. I knew it.
Yes. So Shiga and Michigan have a sister city relationship. I went and worked at a high school in Shiga for 3 years, then went back to the States, picked up my master's degree, and now I'm at the university. Yay! At a university. That I'd probably get in trouble if I tell you which one, but some people already know.
Why would you get in trouble if you don't mind?
Oh, because they're stupid and pissy and yeah. And I
Your
say
college is
bad
stupid and pissy.
Oh yes.
Okay.
I mean,
most colleges like always begging for money all the time?
Well, the place that I'm at has a bunch of money. They just don't like to share it.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a great school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so you graduated from Michigan. This is circa.
Let's see. I graduated. My undergrad was 89 in zoology, actually. So I actually took a
zoology.
Class on,
interesting.
Yeah, I actually took a class on birds, and so I really should have known the duck thing. But anyway,
okay.
And then my master's degree is in education from San Francisco State.
Oh, okay. San Francisco State. You said in education. Okay. Is that what you do here in Japan?
Yeah. So I'm teaching English. I was teaching educational theory and stuff like that for a little while, but the classes change every year and stuff like that. So it depends.
So how long have you been in Japan now? I imagine you started doing YouTube around 7 years ago?
Around 2011 for YouTube. Mm-hmm. But I got to Japan this time in 2003. If you put everything together, it's about 16 or 17 out of the last 20.
Okay.
So originally came in 96, stayed for 3, came back in 2003.
All right. Okay. So quite some time.
Yeah.
You were a floater.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
And will be again. After I die, and they find me in the river.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you place your ashes in the river, I guess it depends on how you is. How you is. I have great words.
It does depend how I is.
Yeah. Everything depends on how you is. Fuck me. All right. Okay. So Simon O'Chanam on the chat he has a good point. He says from zoology to teaching. What was that? I guess transition like.
Well, so here's the thing, and I just put in the chat. There's a lot of overlap there. Most of the educational theory, the roots of it, and how to teach and how to learn, come from zoology. So Skinner, who was the one who did all of the behavioral research and stuff like that, and around 1920, 1930.
Good old BF.
Yeah, B.F. Skinner and the Skinner box and stuff like that. And that's what modern schools are kind of in Japan still currently based on. It's the same theory. They just took it from birds and they put it onto people. And so a lot of educational theory is looking at behavioral theory in animals. And my actual emphasis in zoology is animal behavior. So a lot of it carried over. Yeah, so when I was doing the master's degree, I'm like, hey, I know that guy. Oh, yeah, he did people too. Okay, that's cool.
Huh. So are people animals or are animals people? Or are they both animals?
They're both animals. It's easier to go the other way.
Because, I mean, if you ever do any research on, like, animal law, they pretty much state that, I don't know, the only thing that's real are humans, that animals aren't real.
Right. Right.
Which is pretty awful, but that's
yes, but
that's pretty much the gist of it.
If they could talk, we'd be in trouble, but they can't. So,
well, some animals can talk, like gorillas. right? Well, I guess that's just
Gorillas.
mostly
Yeah, yeah.
pantomimes.
No, I mean no, because what was her name? Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Not the one from Congo, right?
well, there's no.
That's
No,
all I know about
the one that
talking
the one
gorillas.
from Congo is based on. There were
Oh,
a
it's
couple.
based
There
on a
have been
real
a couple
gorilla.
of yeah. There's been a couple of actual gorillas that had functional vocabulary and put together unique sentence structures and were able to express their own ideas. Yeah,
Okay.
but for the most part, we haven't been able to hit that level of communication with like dolphins or crows or stuff like that. Because like crows and ravens are super smart. We can't figure out how to communicate with them well.
Okay. I see. So what made the jump from zoology to education to Japan? You just wake up one
Yeah,
morning and you're like, I want to teach English to some Asian people.
yeah. No, my
Okay,
mom had,
really? All right.
no,
Well, I'm glad
no.
I figured that one out.
No, my mom had taught here for a year in what? When was she here? 99? No, I
Okay.
don't remember. Anyway, she was here, and my brother and I came over to visit, and I'm like, that looks like a fun job. I want to do that. So I did a couple years later.
I'm sorry,
Took
you
her
said
old job,
your
actually.
wife came here?
Mom.
Oh, your mom. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The worst part about doing this show, I'm so sorry to say that, but the worst part of doing the show is like my eyes on the chat, my eyes on the front camera, my eyes like looking at like what's going on the other side of the room. It's such bad. It's so bad. I feel awful. But okay, so you said your mom came to Japan a
Yeah.
long time ago. Well, yeah, actually, my
Yeah.
mother came to Japan as well. She taught English at Kagoshima school. I don't remember exactly the name of it. No, Kagoshima English School. I guess it was like a seminar like thing or something.
Mm,
I don't know exactly what it was. Okay, so she just
yeah.
one day
So
said, "Scott, you need to teach English in Japan."
no, she said, "Hey, why don't you and your brother come over and visit?" And so Jason and I came over for a week or two over
Oh,
Christmas.
wait a minute. Then how long has your
Yeah.
mom been over there then?
She was only there. She was only here for a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so she'd come in April, and so he and I came like around Christmas vacation, so just before she was getting ready to leave. And so I got to go visit the job and stuff like that. And it was that job that I got in Shiga. It was her job that I got when I first came.
Oh, okay. I see. And the rest is history?
Pretty much, yeah. So I came on a 1 year contract and stayed for 3, and then they're like, "No, really, this year you got to go." And so I went back and picked up my master's degree and applied for my current spot. And yeah, and they brought me in. It was a 5 year contract. I got lucky. I was in the right place at the right time, and managed to twist a 5 year deal into a permanent position.
Oh, really? Is it like a university job? Can we talk about it, or is it a
Yeah, we can
completely?
talk about it. No, we can absolutely we can talk about it, which is why I don't want to give the name of the location. Although if you
Okay.
look
Well,
back
you
at
don't have
my
to name the
videos and stuff like
location. I need to know when you show up, what station it's at, how far away it is from the station.
that. Yeah, right.
I need details.
Right. I'll send you a map.
No, I don't need to know. I'm generally just curious because
Yeah, no. So I caught the brass ring. I mean, this is what a lot of people shoot for, and
well,
I happen to get it in my hand.
because what's his name? Stephen King says in his book on writing, he said for some reason it's always your job is the most interesting thing about you sometimes.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
I mean he says he doesn't know why, but people love reading or listening when you talk about your job.
Yeah.
So wait, is it like a university school or is it like an
So
actual university? Oh,
actual
okay.
university.
So kind of
Yeah.
like what's his name? My Argonauts, Jason.
Yeah.
If you know who that is.
Yep. Yep. Taisha Jason. Yeah.
Taisha
Sumo dude.
Jason.
Yep.
Taisha
Yep.
Jason. Yeah. I
I
can't
know
say that
his. I
without
know
having
his
a list.
actual name, and I can't think of it right now. Harris. That's
No,
it.
that his name is yeah, it's really Jason.
Yep.
It's not just a stage name.
Yeah. Right.
My real name's not my real name's not Radrey, it's Dick Van Dyke. Used to be penis ban lesbian. Okay, so you've been in Kansai and you got the university job and you've been there for off and on 10 years. No,
I've been at this job for 16.
16. Okay, all right, so you could probably add it up to 16. So what would you say that
just this one?
Oh, okay, so quite some time.
Yeah.
You've seen Japan change quite a bit since you've been here.
Yes, it is not. When I first got here, there were, if you wanted a portable translator, you took a little itty bitty dictionary. Do I have one?
The Denshi G
It's not
show?
within reach. Yeah, it's like that big, like as big as my head. You just squish it, yeah, and about that thick, and it went in your pocket, and that was it. It had Japanese and in Romaji, and English, and little was it Yodansha? I forget, but it was a little pocket dictionary, Kodansha. It was a little pocket dictionary. There were maps because there were no phones. And when you wanted to meet somebody, you actually had to go there and make the plan ahead of time because nobody had email.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like
I can't even think about what life was like before iPhones. It's even hard to think about. Like, do you remember? One thing I do remember, I recall life back in 2009 when I first came here, Japan. The worst thing about being in Japan when it comes to like navigating something is when somebody tells you to show up somewhere or at some school and they give you like one of these really tiny maps. And like you have to constantly figure out, okay, what position do I need to be holding this map in to figure out where it is? Because there's no street names. You know, everything's written in like, because the way Japanese maps are, they write things in like chomes, and you have to like identify buildings. And it's like, it's right next to a 7-Eleven that's next to some elementary school. And you're like, what?
Yeah. Like that, but without like easy photocopies. Because my original arrival date was 96.
Oh, okay, 96.
So I was here 96 to 99, and then came back in 2003.
Oh, well, is there any anything about Japan that's changed that you kind of hate, or you think that's great? One or the other. I'm just very interested about seeing this country evolve, because after being here for 10 years, I definitely have a lot to say about how it's changed.
Yeah, it was a little bit looser as far as being able to. I don't want to say it this way, but I'm going to because it's easiest to understand. So playing the foreigner card.
Gaijin Smash.
Yeah, well, you didn't play the foreigner card. Everybody else played it for you. You never had to actually throw it out there.
Oh, really?
They just always assumed that you didn't know which way was up, and if you only had a 50-50 chance between figuring out the difference between your butt and a hole in the ground. And even then, you could be wrong.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, it was nice getting lost. That's probably the one thing that I miss the most is now you can't get lost. You pick up your phone, you hit Google Maps or Apple Maps. It shows you exactly where you are and exactly where you need to go.
Wait. You like that feeling? You like the feeling of being lost?
If you're not in a hurry, it's awesome. I found some of the best shrines. I'd never find them again, but some of the best shrines, little places that you can walk through, and that sense of discovery. Holy crap! I had no idea this was here. That you could get, and it's harder to get now.
That is very true. I mean, that actually it summons ideas in my mind, or not ideas, memories. I had like I used to go to the library all the time, but now I don't even go. And I used to think about all these other books I used to found because I was looking for something else. So I guess I can relate to your how getting lost is lovely. I don't know how to better explain it.
Lovely might be a stretch, but it has its merits because I tried to go to a party and never got there.
Forgive me, I'm on the internet and I'm always trying to sound eloquent, but sometimes it just ends up sounding like the crudest person possible or somebody who hasn't gotten enough sleep. So please forgive me.
No.
Okay, so what would you say that it is that like motivates you or keeps you at the job that you're currently in that doesn't make you feel like you're stale or you've become like one of those gaijin who just has only negative things to say about Japan all the time but doesn't really change? I imagine you seem like a person who's like has some sort of interest in really living here. Am I incorrect in my assessment?
No, that's pieces. Well, see, that's one of the things about living here as long as I have. It changes.
Okay.
And the easy thing is my job is super easy because I've done it for a long time. You point me at a classroom, I can teach whatever it is that you want me to teach. So the money's good, and I don't have to really worry about my job much. And so the base stuff for just living is taken care of. So I can have hobbies like YouTube and be able to afford nice cameras and phones and microphones and all of that crap. So I have a nice base to work off of that is because it's a permanent position. Unless I break a law, basically I can't be fired.
Okay,
and
so you're like sage
having that kind of job security is super freeing. So my hobbies with YouTube and the podcasting stuff and
wait, what? You have a podcast? Okay, how did I not find
I don't have an active podcast.
Okay.
But I started podcasting in like 2006, 2007.
Okay. Oh, well, before nobody was doing it.
Before, when nobody was doing it, when the big names were still Adam Curry, Don and Drew, and Twit, and that was it.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, exactly. The guy who did my music was the same dude who wrote the music for the Twit podcast.
Oh, okay.
This Week in Tech, yeah.
Oh, okay. I know that one.
Yeah, and that guy is still doing podcast music. So if you are in the market for getting a song made, cost about $250, $300, and he'll set you up. It's pretty nice.
Okay,
and he does really great work.
If it's that much money, it better be good.
It's good.
All right.
Not all of the music, but a lot of the music on the early ChillinKansai stuff is all from the stuff that he did for me.
Well, I guess if it's $250, it makes sense. You're paying for the song itself because so nobody else can use it. And
right. Basically,
I guess it's if it's a good beat. And this is awful. Usually I always say this all the time, but I like to have my cyber stalking game on lock, but it's like right on Google. Why didn't I find this? Right.
Yeah, so I'll add so the podcast is education and usually edgy T-Sol is what it comes up. So it's basically about teaching English and teaching English as a foreign language and stuff like that. And so there's 86 or so episodes, about 100 episodes of that, and me and another guy that I was working with put all those out at that time. Back then, you had to write the RSS feed yourself.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. Because this podcast, I'm switching it up a bit because I'm gonna have to take the RSS feed. I'm gonna have to start paying for it. Because I was doing it the kind of the cheap way. I was like uploading episodes up on archive.org and then just copying the link and then pasting it into like a WordPress.
Yeah,
you can do it that way.
That would be,
the problem is I've switched to accounts to like this. I got a new website called Radrey.org, and they only take RSS links, they don't allow you to like make posts or something. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I decided, well, all right, I'll pay for this SoundCloud thing. I mean, this is what all kids are using. No, I'm saying that.
I did all of mine through. I did all of mine through my Bluehost account.
Oh yeah, that's good. Bluehost.
Yeah, and it's nice because they give you basic access to pretty much everything. Anything that you want to do with a website, you can do, or at least we're able to do through them. So you can set up the RSS feed. I host the episodes myself, and I never got enough traffic to have it be a problem as far as bandwidth goes. So it's been good.
Okay. Is one thing I wanted to ask. So you're an educator, right? So is there one thing you love teaching, like grammar or writing?
No.
Or no, there's nothing you like teaching? Nothing?
No, there's a ton of stuff I love teaching, just not those.
Okay. You don't like teaching writing, you don't like teaching grammar.
I don't like teaching writing and teaching grammar. So here's the problem with grammar is there's two camps. There's the prescriptivist and the descriptivist. The prescriptivist tells you are going to do it this way, and that's the right way, and everything else is the wrong way, and you get that wrong if you put it down on the test. The descriptivist just describes how people are using grammar. So, for example, data, right? Generally, the prescriptivist says data is a plural. There are a lot of data in the world, right? And the singular for that is datum. But when most regular people talk about it, they use data as a collective noun. It's both singular or plural, either way, like moose.
All right.
And so in one class, if it's a descriptivist class, you'll get that right. If it's a prescriptivist class, you'll get it wrong. So I hate that shit. And this
sounds like Greek to me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Anyway,
but continue. I'm not trying to sound ignorant.
No. But so being able to say something, this is absolutely right, this is absolutely wrong, I don't like that as far as.
Oh, okay. I can identify with this. All right.
Right. So it's like, no, that's not the way it's usually done. It's usually done this way. And so, but I can find somebody who misspeaks, who is a native speaker, who uses it in whatever way you're looking for, because there are over 300 million native speakers of North American English, and anyway. And so that's an issue for me. I don't like that. I don't like to do it that way. So I do like to teach educational theory. I do like to teach. I'm doing a section on digital photography and videography now in my classes. So I have a class set of iPads that the kids share. They get into groups, and I give them a photography assignment and tell them to go out and do it. And then they come back and bring me the pictures. Then they have to explain what the picture is and explain what the thought process is behind taking the picture, why it's set up this way, why didn't you compose it this way, and that stuff. And I really enjoy that. It's a lot of fun.
Huh. Just the pictures they send back?
No, making them explain it is entertaining too, because a lot of times they'll take the picture and not be thinking about all of the stuff that I told them about before they went to take the picture. And then they have to remember what I said and try to bring that back in. Why? Okay, so you used rule of thirds. You didn't use rule of thirds. Why is the subject in the middle instead of the side? Why did you have this in the frame and this? And
rule of thirds in terms of the picture. I'm like, rule of thirds in writing? There's a rule of thirds in writing?
Well, that's why I don't like writing. I don't like teaching writing classes either, because I don't want to read it. They're not very good writers.
Oh, actually, I really
like to read my writing.
I love teaching writing. That's something I do, but it's always the worst part is like when you ask students, like, so which one did you enjoy better? And they just look at you like, okay, well, I guess I'll make the decisions now.
I did a writing class a bunch of years ago that was fiction writing.
Okay.
That was a good time. Academic writing is boring. I hate it because it really falls heavily into the descriptive camp that I talked about earlier. But fiction writing, I said, all right, you need to have, I give them 3 or 4 things because it's easier to give them something and then they got to build off of it. So I'll give them 4 nouns or 3 nouns and 2 verbs that have to be incorporated somewhere in the story. The main character has to be a gangster. Main character has to be a wizard. Main character has to be something like that. All right, now you're going to write a fiction story using those characters. You got a gangster, you got a pixie, and you got a wizard. What happened?
And usually sometimes they come up with something creative.
Yeah, well, usually. And every once in a while they'll try to, rehash some Harry Potter sub story or something like that. I'm like, no, seen that. Nice try. Keep going.
Yeah, I get a lot of rehashers when I ever try to teach storytelling. And usually whenever I try to teach a story or tell a story, it just ends up getting so gross or so absurd that either people start laughing or they're like, that's bad taste. I'm like, yeah, it kind of is bad taste. Let's move on.
Yeah. What level? What age?
I work mostly at a juku. I'm at an international school.
Okay.
Mostly elementary. I teach mostly returnees.
Right. All right.
I usually write up a Google Doc every time I interview a guest. So I'm just going to go to the next question because
awesome.
Awkward transitions rule. Okay. Well, the water. You hear that water?
Uh-huh.
That's okay.
I hear
I'm just curious.
I can identify it as water.
Okay. You couldn't identify it. All right. It sounds like a man in the other room using a ball peen hammer.
Yeah, fucking man.
No, more like paper crumpling or something like that.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay, so my question here is, how does tech influence the ChillinKansai brand? You do a lot of videos on tech, correct? Yeah, I watched a few of them.
Yep. Initially,
it's just a hobby, right?
It is a hobby, but it's a big part of even the job. Because, like I said, I have the iPad set that I use for the kids and in the class, and so I have a drone. I build my own computers, except for the Macs. I just dig technology. I think technology is cool and fun, and something that I really enjoy. And the getting the most out of it and trying to find the best positive applications for it is a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. I think tech is something that can really enhance and improve people's lives. I think social media is, as a tool, it's broken a little bit, but I think it's a valuable thing. It needs to be reined in somehow and fixed, but the fact that anybody can have a voice is empowering. It's interesting. It's I think it's a valuable thing.
Okay, so you say you've built your own computers before?
Yeah, usually my PCs are all only hand built.
Really? Do you sell them?
Go out and buy the motherboards. I mean, I could if I wouldn't sell it, I would help somebody build their own. But
really?
Since when did I start doing that? Around 2004 or 5. Because it's kind of a really advanced Lego kit. You buy a motherboard, you make sure you get the chip that fits with that motherboard and make sure all the numbers line up. And then you just plug it all in and away you go. And you can either spend a lot more money than you would with an all-in-one, or you can cut back only to exactly what you need. And as long as you're working with desktops, it's absolutely a great way to go.
Okay. Yeah, because
And
my PC I'm using right now is a custom build. I got it from Akihabara, a website called Dospada. Highly recommended, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, you know of it?
Yeah, I buy used parts from them. They have good
Oh,
stuff.
really?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I probably will buy my next computer from them at some point. So this is what you came here all the way to the end of the interview for, was learning
Absolutely.
Dospara name. I got to give some incentive or some sort of treats towards the end of a video.
Everybody should drop him a super chat for like $1 or $2.
No, I can't accept super chats.
Oh, you can't. Oh,
No, I
I'm
can't
sorry.
because I lost my partnership benefit, so I can't accept those anymore.
Only partners can do that.
Or what is it? No, I'm a partner, but I lost my monetization back in what was it, 2017? Feels ages ago. Or was it 2018?
Yeah,
I can't even remember. But
when they changed the rules, right?
Yeah, when they changed the rules, that's when I lost it. I was able to get super chat back in the day, but maybe if I break over 3,000 followers here, I get some. I be a little bit more consistent with this show. Like so far this year, I've only been like one guest or 2 or 3 guests a month. It should be one every week, but I'm a one-man show.
That's
so
still pretty good for rolling it on your own. For everybody out there who's watching and have not done this before, it is super difficult. And so you clap the man up. He's doing a hell of a job.
I guess so. I don't know. I always feel like I could be doing more, but
story of life.
True. So let me ask you this: now the videos you have made, you've kind of stopped for a little while. Is there any reason for that? It's just lack of interest, or
no? No, I really, really want to get back to it, and actually, sometime later this year. I'm gonna probably mid-December or early January. I'm gonna fire up ChillinKansai and actually get it going on a regular basis again. And I'm gonna have a second channel that I'm putting together that I can't talk about yet, but it will be interesting for some people.
I made the #1 mistake this year, and I told people what my goals were. So don't do that. So more power to you for not telling me anything.
Well, so
all I'm gonna say.
the reason that I had to stop is I'm working on my PhD, and
that's a good excuse.
And so if I don't get it finished, then I'm in trouble because I will have pissed away $60,000.
No,
that's not nothing.
Yeah, that's probably better fit for your time than YouTube is.
So
can't be making Logan Paul reaction videos. Those don't pay the bills, or get you good grades.
But so I am planning to get back to it, and
does it be the same kind of content as you did before?
I'm gonna get outside a little bit more. I think
do some more abroad in Japan type stuff.
Not quite that involved.
Okay.
Maybe like some of his earlier stuff. And I'd like to get hooked into a little bit of, meeting people out in the wild and seeing stuff. But Chris has a lot of stuff going on. So it's a little daunting. But anyway, I want to try to get back. Yeah, right.
It's very daunting. I mean, this is what I'm up against. Well, I'm nowhere near his level, so
I want to get back out and start doing, interactive stuff with the world. A lot of the stuff that I shot was up against a black screen, and so that really doesn't work as well on YouTube as it used to. It's convenient, but so
it looks very professional. Looks like you're going to give some master class.
I could. Technically.
Yeah. I think it still works. I don't know. I mean, I like listening to people in rooms. I don't always need to see the Casey Neistat stuff. It's like, this is me. I'm going to the conveni and I'm buying a soda pop. I'm going to try it before everyone else does, Yeah. And this is where I live, but you can't see my address. you know, because I like
Casey,
my home. What's up?
yeah, Casey broke a lot of YouTube. Like
You think
like
so?
there are 3 or 4 channels I just randomly pulled off of the suggestions stuff today, and I'm like, and they all started like a nice stat. You know, helicopters in the air. They're not on the helicopters, but the same style of music and the same kind of camera moves. It's a little boring now.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably. I mean, I was listening to an interview with him, and even he's getting kind of burned out in the whole like,
Right?
this is my life. You know, I'm putting YouTube and I'm showing you everything. You know, and I
Yeah.
tried to do that for like a couple of videos. Like you'll notice if you dig through some of my videos, I made one on Toys R Us, and I made one on me going to Universal Studios Japan, and I mean they were fun to make, and I don't mind shooting wisecracks out, and people seem to enjoy watching because they're short and they're cute. But it's just sort of like there's certain moments in my life where I went to Kawagoe yesterday, and I'm thinking, oh, I should totally pull out my camera and start making wisecracks and making jokes and start filming things. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I really
Or
don't.
I could just enjoy the day.
Yeah, I can enjoy the day. You know, why does everything have to be a job?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure my viewers would love to see it, but it's just sort of like, I can't be fucked with this. I really can't.
Yeah. Well, and it would be different if it paid. And it used to, but it doesn't anymore. I mean, you can do day in the
Did
life
it ever
stuff,
pay? I mean, I guess it paid a little bit, like a little bit there towards 2011, 2012.
Yeah, exactly. Up till maybe 2014, when you saw the beginning of the fractures in the J-vlogging community, right?
The fractures. Okay, this is
Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
What makes you say fractures? I have to ask this.
Because the community up until 2013 was small enough to be less than 150 people, or maybe less than 200. And then once it reached that brink of about 300 to 350 active creators, then there was enough Japanese life in Japan content. And then a couple of the Japanese creators started breaking out and started actually taking advantage of what was available. And then now there's it's a huge community. I used to know almost everybody that was actively making videos at one point, right?
Right.
You can't do that anymore. It's just not possible. And so at that point, it fractured. There started to be. It was a little cliquey when I got in, but now it's like you get people who actually don't know who each other are, and like we talked about before, you know, this person and that person, you can't even approach them because they got stuff going on or whatever. And I'll talk to this person, but I won't talk to that person, and then
I don't think this
conflicts start to get in.
I don't think the video was recording when we had this conversation. If it did, then I'll cut the segment out post mortem. But no, it's not your fault. This is 100% me, and you're the best guest of 2019 so far. So, anyway, no, what Scott, Mr. ChillinKansai, was talking about is sometimes when it comes to getting guests for the show, I can't just approach anybody, because back then, like what Scott's talking about is very, very true, that you could approach anyone and then you could really get to know them. Like when I approach Cooney, you know, he'll respond right away. You know, I'm not just some rando on the internet, you know, that just like says, hey, you want to hang out and get a coffee and, look at old Polaroids on my phone. In other, because I'm sure like a lot of these, like probably abroad in Japan, Chris Broad, he doesn't want to just spend time with some viewer, you know.
But I mean, it's even a little bit more nuanced than that. I think it's back in even 2015, the community had begun to separate into, you know, these people are doing anime, these people are doing day in the life, these people are doing eating things out of a vending machine. And there wasn't as much crossover between what people were doing. And there weren't as many crazy people in the audience. And now you don't know who that person is.
Where did all the crazy people come from? Well, I don't remember that many crazies. I remember you got like a few here and there, and they're like a dime a dozen, I guess.
Yes, because in 2015 they were 12, and now they're not. And now it's what they're 16 or 18 or whatever the difference is. At that point, they didn't know how to get onto the internet. They were too afraid to actually contact people. But the ability to get in and
sorry, I can't stop laughing about the crazy people come. Go on, continue. I'm listening. I'm all ears.
Yeah. People were still shy in 2014, 2015, and they're not shy anymore. They feel that you owe them something for being on the internet, and they know you.
Oh, yeah, that is a new thing.
Who these people are.
That is a new development. You are right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because back then it was, I'm a creator, you're a creator. I look at your channel, you got 45 videos up, I've got 150 videos up. Yeah. And okay, great. Well, we're making videos. Now, somebody who's been on YouTube since 2015 still hasn't made a video, is contacting me to, hang out or whatever that means. And, there's crazy people now, and there didn't used to, well, you didn't see them. They were still there. You just didn't see them.
Huh.
They didn't reach out.
Yeah, no, I think it's probably because the internet's evolved into this thing where everybody's become very accustomed to what it is. Yes. And we've become a lot more comfortable with it. Yeah. So I think it's kind of evolved into something where, how do I even define this? Like we own it? I don't know. I'm not sure how to I'd have to ponder about what it is I think about it. But yeah, it's
I think that feeling of ownership, whether we actually own it or not, we have a
that's a better thing to talk about, ownership.
Yeah.
You think that a lot of people act like they own things on the internet, even though they're not real?
I think they feel like I think a lot of people are looking for that connection. And that eye to eye, that I'm looking at you, it's not that glass eye that was in the YouTube video in 2012. It's now I'm looking at you, and I have something to say to you personally, and we're communicating, but really it's only going this way, and I'm not getting whoever's on that other side. I'm telling you something about myself that I feel is real or whatever, and now you have a connection with me, and so you are taking advantage of that connection as the audience. You feel the connection, and you want to reach back. And as a creator, I am reaching out to one thing that hits 100,000 people, maybe if we're lucky, or 3,000, or 50 who don't leave home, or whatever their situation is. And now they feel like they can reach me because we had this connection. I was looking in your eye, talking about whatever it was I was talking about, how I was feeling, and I was opening up, which makes a better audience. And then they're reaching back. And sometimes you just don't want to be reached back to.
This is where it starts becoming one of these. What do they call that? A parasocial relationship. You're not familiar with that? A parasocial relationship. This is what the internet was built for.
Yay!
Definition.
I love these. Exactly.
Parasocial relationship is a term coined by Donald Horton and Richard Wall to refer to a kind of psychological relationship experienced by an audience and their meditated encounters with performers in the mass media, particularly on television, and now on YouTube.
What year?
1956.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
So, yeah, we're definitely experiencing more of this. I mean, probably the bigger name people, really.
Well, no, I mean, even to a degree, us. I mean, even if you have 300 followers, there's somebody in that audience that you would not necessarily choose to hang out with.
You hear that, folks?
It's not you.
One of you.
I love you.
It is
You are
you.
good. No, it's not you.
I'm just giving you a
The
hard
bad
time.
man's not talking about you.
Yeah, I'm just I got to make content somehow, or got to make this provocative.
Exactly.
All right, so let me switch gears here.
You bet.
So what types of videos do you really like making the most?
I like explaining stuff. You know,
Okay.
being able to look at something that other people are talking about, but because I've been here for old as the dirt and like that window, and being able to look at it and say, yeah, okay, I see what you're seeing because I've stood over there and looked at it from that way. Now, if you come over here and look at it from this angle, this is what I see on it now. The ones that of my videos that I enjoyed making were when the eyeball licking fad was going on.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
The Fukupi stuff.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah.
And then you did the prison mascots one, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then the other one was I hesitate to say his name, but the Ryan Boundless stuff that I responded to.
I have never watched a single video of his, so I guess I am in for a real treat.
Yeah, he's lucky that it was before the weeaboo thing came to prominence, because
wait. The weeaboo thing came to prominence after his time?
It was around at that time, but not everybody and their sister was using it. Now, if you say, oh, you know what? I really like this aspect of Japan, everybody's like, weeb! And at that point, you could still like things. And now
when do you 2016? Why 2016?
Yeah. Because 2015 I hadn't heard of it, and 2016
I've heard of this term for a long time, since like 2009. I'm not sure who coined
really?
the phrase, quote unquote. Yeah, I mean,
well, I remember seeing the thing. Well, okay, so that's exactly like the growth stuff. It was around and available, but it wasn't like it is now. If you say weeb, everybody knows what you mean. And around 2015, 2016 is where I saw it break.
Oh, is it kind of like the acronym SJW? Like,
yeah,
I didn't even know what that was. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like something that was manufactured by the internet or something.
Yes. Well, yes. Yeah, it's exactly that kind of thing. A certain group was using it for a certain thing. The cartoon, I forget. I think the cartoon maybe was earlier. I don't know. Anyway, but 2009 sounds about right. Yeah, that's what it comes from.
Weeaboo or SJW?
Weeaboo.
Oh, okay. Wait, you're telling me it's from a cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I don't know this. This is news to me. What's the origin?
Yeah, it's like an office.
Oranges of origin.
The origins. Yeah,
as our great president of the United States once said.
Yeah, once, twice, 3 times. Anyway. Yeah. So there's an office building, and a bunch of nameless, faceless drones are around it. And then somebody stands up, and I can't remember what they say, but they start pounding on the desk saying, weeaboo, and then he jumps out the window. That's where it came from. How it got attached to Japan, not entirely sure.
Wait, what's the comic you said?
I don't know what the comic was. I don't know.
Is it Perry Fellow Bible Ship? Fuck, what was the name of it? Perry Bible Fellowship. I'm pretty sure it's that.
Okay.
Yes, it comes up. I guess that's where it comes from. Huh. Says this is terrible for like somebody who's like listening to this or can't see it. I can't really share. I'll share it in the chat so at least someone can see it. Maybe this might be fun. Explaining a comic nobody can see unless you have the chat ready. All right. So
yeah, Perry Bible Fellowship. If
Is
we
this
waste
it?
any more time
Okay.
on weeaboo, if we waste him, we'll be bankrupt by the end of the month. Did somebody just say weeaboo? Because I thought I heard somebody say weeaboo, and he's got like a paddle. And, they're spanking him. All right. I thought there was one where he jumps out the window.
Boo. Boo. Oh, how did it get associated with Japan, though?
That part I don't know, but yeah, it's weird.
Maybe
So I
your
remember
meme can explain it.
exactly.
I don't want this to become the show of Welcome to Why Come Japan, where we read things on the internet.
Yeah, but I mean, after the setup episode, then you got to do the
That's true. Okay,
let's
all
watch the
right.
internet
Yeah,
together.
that's true.
It's a natural progression. Don't fight it.
That's true. You're right. All right. Well, let me see if I can get the gist of this really quickly. Okay, it talks about the origin, stereotypes, and weeaboo. There are numerous online discussions and referential sources discussing the stereotypes and traits of weeaboo. Some of the most notable observational jokes include excessive use of Japanese words and replacement of English, favoritism of Japanese imports over domestic equivalents, hanging out in the international aisle in the supermarket. That still doesn't explain it, though. It's just
it doesn't explain where the
it just
came from.
maybe it's like one of these things where the term was it was thrown around as a joke, but then it always got attached to people who kept on talking about here it is. I found it. Okay. From the late 2003 and onwards, usage of Wapanese became alarmingly visible on 4chan, often leading to unpleasant exchanges between anime/manga fans who were less interested in their subcultures. At the peak of this abuse in mid-2005, 4chan moderators devised a creative intervention, using the word filter, replacing every instance of Wapanese with weeaboo, which was a fictitious term originally coined by Nicholas Gertovich and his Perry, I'm going to pronounce that last name wrong, Perry Bible Fellowship comic strip. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it here. Well, you probably just...
Now you know.
No, probably everybody knows already. I mean...
everybody but us.
Yeah. Well, it's a learning experience. This is why you stuck to the very end of the interview. Right. All right, then. I think it's getting late in the night. So anything you want to say before we go?
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for sticking around with all the
awesome
technical difficulties. I had Popadoodle on the show last week.
Yeah.
You probably don't know who that is, but
I haven't gone back to watch it yet.
No, there's no video because I was having an OBS nightmare. Like we were having earlier, but anyway, stay tuned to the show because I think John St. Michael from the Japan Times will be our next guest. My next guest. It's just me running this show. It sounds cooler when you say it's we, like we have people working in the background.
It's a royal we.
The royal we.
And myself and I.
What is this? The Big Lebowski? You've seen that movie, right?
Absolutely.
Royal we.
If you haven't, go watch it.
Yeah, go sub to ChillinKansai. Expect more. Oh, that was something I was going to ask you. What is your PhD in? If you can.
Applied linguistics.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. Focusing on vocabulary acquisition, but mostly how to use holistic stuff.
All right. Well, you can find Scott at the video below. Eventually, he'll make more videos on what are you going to make more videos on?
Soon.
More tech reviews, more urban legends.
I'm going to do some more tech reviews. I keep getting requests for urban legends. Somebody had said, do Greek mythology next. I'm like, I'm not in Greece, but okay. I'll look at it. I'd like to do more urban legends. And since Unrested kind of stopped,
what happened to him? So. Is he still around?
He's still living. I don't.
You approve of this?
Yeah, he's still down in South Osaka, Kobe-ish. doing his school stuff, and he had some issues with people. I don't remember a whole lot of exactly what was going on with it, but I know it was a problem for him. And so basically, I think he's still doing videos. He's just not doing it as Unrested. He's doing mostly just the horror stuff, I think. Like,
it's called Arrested.
Not dealing with
he
Japan.
became Unrested and just became Rested.
Just Rested, yeah.
Well, yeah, I haven't seen anything from him. He doesn't write stuff on
Yeah.
Facebook. He doesn't. I don't know. Maybe he needed a break. I could totally get that because it's
Yeah, I understand. He was
the monotony of the internet it's kind of overwhelming at times. I mean,
yeah.
Even like with this show, I mean, I really like doing this show because I could just have a normal conversation with somebody. But even at times, it's sort of like, you should make the show like this because you'll get more viewers or you might get sponsorship. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to burn myself out. That's like a fast track to burnout.
Yeah.
You got to push.
Go ahead.
No, I had nothing else to say. I'm so used to like people interrupting me. So then like it sounds like I'm rude, like I'm interrupting somebody else. Because I'm so used to my students not saying anything. So I just kind of like go on autopilot. So like whenever they speak up, I immediately just, I shut up immediately. So
keep going.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you going to say? What
Okay, well, anyway, I'm not sure exactly where I was going, but yeah, I am planning to make some more tech videos. I am going to be starting another channel, and we could actually we need to talk more later on.
Okay, all right.
I can't say, there's a couple of things I can't say on the stream, but for everybody else, tune in. It's a secret, and I will tell you eventually.
What? All right.
Just saying. Yeah, so I'm going to start
for the best. Like I said earlier, when you say your goals on the internet and then you don't do them, it looks pretty pathetic. So
I don't have a choice. This one's in process unless here's the big clue. Unless the bank says no, it's not going to happen. If the bank says yes, then we'll have a second channel and it will be different from what I'm doing on the ChillinKansai channel. So ChillinKansai is still going to be basically my point of view of Japanese culture after living here for longer than dirt. And I think it's interesting, so I'm going to do that stuff. Yeah. And then all of the other stuff.
I'm kind of laughing to myself because I always love these podcasts. I love podcasts where they're about to end the show, but then they take forever.
15 minutes later. Yeah. Oh yeah, we should probably end.
Yeah, we should probably wrap this up. All right. Well, if you guys love surprises, wait for Scott's big surprise on his channel. If you don't like surprises, well then, sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Still sub. You should still sub and follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff.
All right. So until then, I'm Radrey and
peace. I'm Scott. ChillinKansai. Talk to you.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I gotta push enter.